Hey, this is Mango. You're listening to TSR.
TCR.
TCR?
TCR. The center ring.
That's what I said. I did say TCR.
Okay, so let's start.
Hello. Hello, everyone. And welcome to the Center Ring, aka TCR, aka your favorite esports podcast. Episode 158, coming to you live, pre-recorded from an undisclosed location. The date, May 20th, 2019. The time, 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time on the dot. We have possibly the saddest episode ever. But that doesn't mean we don't have the best content. We will end the show with e-news, as always, our weekly segment of things that we didn't have time to get to. We have everyone's favorite segment, Clutch or Kick. Super original idea, not buy or sell. Completely different and completely original. Where we go through, 3-ish stories, news that we decide if it's worth clutching or kicking. We'll get to that. And to start the show, we have Tfue. Oh, bless it.
Lord.
Tfue. It will not be the last time I call him Tfue. Tfue versus FaZe Clan. May the best clout win. But before we get into that, let's introduce the crew. My name is Tim. Hello. I'll be your host for this journey into esports. Alongside me, as always, is my best friend, my one true mate who will never leave me, Anuj. Hello, Anuj.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm wonderful. Wonderful. And, as always, for the last time, it's Brett. Hello, Brett.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What is up, man? What is up? So,
What is
for
up?
those, to fill everyone in on the sad news today, this is Brett's final show with the Center Ring. Brett, explain yourself.
Well, let's start on a positive note, a happy note. You're still gonna see me. For those Fuel fans out there, I'm still gonna be doing the weekly refuel episodes, so that's gonna happen. But I mean, just got to the point where eh, life is starting to catch up to me. I mean, I have a boy that's gonna be playing club soccer, and I want to be coaching, and Bryce is getting older, my second, so it just felt like it was time because the listener deserves quality, which you and Anuj bring week in and week out,
Agreed.
and I try
Mhm.
to.
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
100%.
right. And I don't want to water down the show. I want to keep it, on point and fresh and good. So
So
I
we're not
just
going
don't
to
have
tell
the time.
everyone that we booted him. We're gonna go with
Y'all,
this story.
y'all are
We
letting
made
y'all.
an executive decision today that it was time. It was time to
Oh,
cut ties. Okay.
yes.
It's been 2 years. It's been a long 2 years,
Yeah.
and this is the decision we came to today.
This is actually perfect because now I can file for unemployment, right?
And they will double your salary because of it.
Nice. Okay. All
Wait till you
right.
see
I
the
got.
severance package we
Never mind, guys.
offer.
I'm not leaving the show. I'm not stepping away. I got fired.
Wait till you see the severance package here, man.
Oh my
No,
God. What's it gonna
like
be?
I told you at lunch today at work and stuff. I support your decision. It's gonna suck to see you go, but obviously you'll be doing refuel still. The weekly Dallas Fuel recap that we post up on our YouTube, and then
Mhm.
when a Nuge is out or whatever, there's always a
You'll see my
spot
face.
for you.
Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah, so-
I'll enjoy coming back because quite honestly, guys, like this is something I look forward to. I'm talking about the games that I love. Which has been awesome to do the past couple of years. So definitely something I'm gonna miss on a week out basis, but you'll see me again somewhere
It
down
has
the
been a
line.
lot of fun for sure. I mean, I started the show with Brett 2 years ago. I mean, I think Brett was a couple episodes hopped on before me, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. Like the last couple of years have really been enjoyable. We've got to go to a lot of cool events together, meet a lot of fun people, like do a lot of things that we didn't anticipate doing, and so really enjoyed the last couple of years, working with you, helping grow the show, and it's been a good ride, dude. It really has.
Thanks, man.
Agreed. Yep. And then for me, I do very much appreciate it as well because back when Brandon originally left, I thought it was done. I was like, all right, well, what do I go from here? And you were quick to say, yes, I will help out. And then we did a couple episodes, and I was like, my God, well, where am I going to go from here now? This is awful. And then so Anuj came on board and really saved the show. Really,
I agree.
just
Once again.
Anuj, top notch. Top notch. But no, seriously, Brett, you always have the spot here, obviously. So I
Yeah.
see you every day, so I can't completely trash you here. After the show, when it's just Anuj and I, you're dead to me. But I'll see you at work tomorrow. So
Yeah,
there's also
there you
that.
go.
There's also that. But enough sad news. Enough sad news, because this is a happy show, because esports are happy, right? Everyone gets along so well in esports. There's never any drama.
Never.
Never,
No.
except for every single day in every single scene. You turn around and there is some drama. Well, I think we've hit the peak of esports drama today.
Yeah.
You thought, man, Optic Gaming might not be an org anymore. And then FaZe and Tfue was like, hold my beer. I'm going to sue my own organization
While on the team.
while still
yeah.
on the org. And in fact, he not only is he suing them, he also like pretty much announced it on stream with phases like banners and everything all
How
over
awesome is that?
his
How
own
awesome is that?
stream. So for those who might not know, um, because I don't know, maybe you do something better with your life than watch a Fortnite streamer. I don't understand. Tfue is a Fortnite streamer, one of the most popular ones, probably rivals Ninja on any given day.
Mhm.
And he is part of FaZe Clan. Well, he's already announced that after the World Cup, he's not doing competitive Fortnite anymore. Anyways, he's just becoming a full-time professional streamer.
He hates the game, Tim. He should be your best friend.
Dude, that's everyone who plays Fortnite. Let's be real. No one enjoys it. No one enjoys video games in general. We all hate video games. We just
We
play
really
them.
do. We're salty. God, we're every.
Join our Discord when we're playing anything and ask if we're having fun. Um, and so now he is suing FaZe Clan, and here's a little excerpt from the ESPN article that was posted. I don't know who broke the story because it all kind of broke all at once, so I'm not really sure. But here's the first paragraph. Tfue filed suit against his organization FaZe Clan and filed a complaint with California Labor Commissioner's Office, alleging the team restricted his ability to pursue his profession and violated the California Talent Agency Act for its role as a middleman for his brand endorsement and appearance deals. Saying, Tfue went on to say like they're taking like 80% of the profit.
That's true.
Tournament winnings.
Okay.
And that's the one thing, right? Is like you hear, because when I first read it, I was like 80%, like oh my
Yeah, I know,
God.
right?
But
Yeah,
that is
God, that's
not including the stream money, like from donations and subscribers. That doesn't include that. It doesn't include what else?
YouTube revenue.
YouTube revenue, things like that. Like content that he's producing, it's not doing. They're not taking that away from him. But regardless, I guess that's not industry standard from what I've gathered. So
And there's like a lot in this suit. There's like, so in a lawsuit such as this, when you're the accusing party, um you kind of try and throw as many things out there as you can, and really see which ones are the courts going to work with, right? Like, where do you have your best odds? So he laid a lot out onto the table. He didn't just go into the winnings. He talked about obviously being able to grow his own brand. He felt like they were not really allowing him to do that without working through them financially. He had mentioned that he felt like he was kind of pinned into living into this home situation with multiple YouTube content creators and just kind of like a house full of content creators. So they kind of threw him in here and they're asking him to do, you know, he calls like dangerous stunts on videos. That's how he broke his arm, was doing like a stunt on a video with a skateboard, and really like messed up his arm pretty bad. He jumped off of a bridge for another, phase video. And then they also, one of the big accusations that he made was that they were serving him alcohol under the age of 21, like kind of forcing it on him and um, making him live that kind of lifestyle. And then also accused them of again breaking labor laws by signing an 11-year-old player and forcing his family and him to kind of lie about his age. So they're saying he might not even really be 11. He's incredible, by the way, at Fortnite. Like some little
They're
little
saying
kid
though that
that's
he might be younger.
might be younger than
Younger
11.
than 11?
Yeah,
How bad
younger
does
than
it got to be
11.
that you have to lie? Like 11 is your lying age.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
I
yeah,
know,
11
right?
is your and like he sounds like a baby, but like these are all things that were thrown out into this lawsuit, and so it's just like kind of a pile of stuff, and there's a lot there. I mean, there's like a lot to look into, and then this is going to be one of those things that's not resolved overnight. It's going to be ongoing, you know, months of delegation and research
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So
And what's telling is it's not coming from a place or a person that is desperate, right? Desperate for money. I mean,
Right.
or desperate for fandom
Yeah, it
or a
wasn't like his
following.
stream was struggling and he was like, "I need cash, man. I gotta do
Yeah, I
something."
got to sue FaZe. Something happened. Like, and it has to be huge
Well,
because I mean,
I mean, obviously, I don't know the guy on any type of personal level, and I don't even watch his stream to even know what his streaming personality would be like. Maybe Anuj, you can say more on this, but he definitely doesn't seem like the guy who really cares what he says, right? Like, in the sense of if he feels like he is in the right, then he's not going to be like, well, I owe FaZe this or anything. Like, he definitely seems the guy that kind of plays to the beat of his own drum. I mean, that's why he's quitting competitive Fortnite. He's like, no, I don't want to do
yeah,
it, so I'm not going to do it.
he's definitely an outspoken person. He doesn't, he kind of keeps it pretty straight when he is talking. At the same time, though, I never got the vibe that he wasn't enjoying doing what he's doing. And a lot of his fame, although he was a great competitive player in other games prior to this, um, he had like it wasn't a huge following. He was
A couple
averaging a
hundred,
couple
right?
hundred viewers prior to joining FaZe, and now he's getting tens of thousands of views the moment he turns on his stream. So for whatever it's worth, right or wrong, a lot of his popularity is due to having that phase tag on your name. Like I
Of
would
course.
love for
Well,
this show
and
to be
there's a
FaZe is
huge,
VCR presented
huge,
by phase,
there's a
like
right.
huge but though.
Well, because
Like,
FaZe is
yeah,
also kind of
but
in rivalry to like OG or OG Optic Gaming, in the sense of like they have that insane fandom behind it, right? Like those dead
hmm.
set loyal
just
fans
diehards.
behind it. Yes,
I
the
mean, there are
diehard
people that get
fans.
tattoos. You see them all the time, like
Oh yeah.
phase tattoos. Like,
And including
it's like,
Banks, the co-owner of FaZe, he has a code Tfue tattoo on him. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's like he's
that's awkward.
definitely been overly
He's
outspoken.
he tweeted
Banks,
about that. He's like, "How do you think I feel? I have the guy's name tattooed on me." Now,
it,
you've brought up Banks, so let's jump over to that boat, shall we? Because first off, and I will say this, and we can almost bring up which I actually forgot to even put in any of the show notes today. Shame on me, but it's been a long week. Give me a break. I was so emotionally distraught when Brett told me he was quitting the show. Uh, Denial, right, with their drama going on. We kind of mentioned this a long time ago of like, why would anyone want to sign with Denial? like even with their new ownership, who have a sketchy past to begin with.
He seemed like a douche, the new owner.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
like
be
the new
real.
owner
Like,
wasn't any. Yeah, he's a young guy again. Like, okay, so
it
here's
doesn't matter
another
to be
young.
young, just personality. Like
Yeah,
watching his videos and stuff was just like seemed like a little bit of a garbage person in my opinion.
and now you have FaZe, which look, I get FaZe is a staple in the scene. You do not want FaZe leaving esports. You want them to succeed. Esports is better when FaZe is better. But there is no way you can't you'll be able to convince me that this is not a jerk of an organization, like a joke. Like they were like front and center years ago when the betting scandals broke down. Front and center, they were part of that, who would rip off their fans, they would rip off kids, they would rip off people just for to bet on. So like this organization already has a history of being kind of a, dare I
I
say,
wouldn't say
shitty
joke. Like, I mean,
organization.
like, shady would be the word, right? Like, I don't think they're a joke. I think they're an amazing organization. Like, I really do. Like, FaZe to me is a top three esports org in terms of what they brought to esports early on, and that was being cool. And like that was like a big part of it, right? Like they were a
Yeah.
cool group of people who did cool things, who rocked cool clothes, who bought nice cars. Like they started off as those trick shot videos. Like they were a cool group to follow, right? Even the logo, like all of it kind of appeals to a certain audience. So what FaZe has done for esports is really above and beyond what 95% of organizations have done out there. With that being said, yes, they're run by a younger group of individuals, right? They're co-owners of this group are really young people. There were people that started off as players and kind of moved into this fairly quickly. Like all of them were either trick shotters and things like that, right? So um, to do shady stuff when they kind of grew this brand on their own is not overly surprising. Like the betting scandal, yes, they were heavily involved in it, and they're still, I believe, heavily involved in a lot of the betting that goes
Mhm.
on within esports and those betting sites and all that. Tfue even put it in his argument that they also pressured him to gamble on stream and things like that. So FaZe Rain, like all these guys were like heavily involved in all of this. So, but that is a little different than what these accusations are, right? Now we're getting into like unethical practices, right? Although that is unethical in a different way, this is like employment issues, right? I'm not sure how much I buy on this whole situation. They have been phased, as in they have been very open and put out a lot of messages and stuff today, where to
Mhm.
me, that's a sign of feeling, I don't know if it's comfortable, but confident
Confident.
in what you're saying. And they had a tweet
Yeah.
out today that I just want to bring up real quick, but it mentions in this tweet, um, we are shocked and disappointed. This is from FaZe Clan's official statement. We are shocked and disappointed to see the news of Tfue's press article and lawsuit. Over the course of our partnership with him, which began in April 2018, FaZe has collected $0 in tournament winnings, zero Twitch revenue, zero YouTube revenue, zero from any social platform. In fact, we have only collected $60,000 from our partnership, while Tfue has earned millions as a member of FaZe Clan. While contracts are different with each player, all of them, including Tfue's, have a maximum of 20% to FaZe Clan in both tournament winnings as well as content revenue, with 80% to the player. In Turner's case, neither of those have been collected by FaZe Clan.
So pretty much said
It's
the
either
exact opposite of what
Opposite.
yeah,
Tfue was saying.
it, and
This
I mean
Go
it
ahead.
could be damage control too, right? Like
Well, of course.
I mean it, and there is some monetary value that they're getting from, their brand being on a stream, right? Like if it seems like they're just doing them a favor, right? A little
Well, of
bit
course. I mean,
or
There
no?
you got Tfue fans, and they see FaZe, and then they go buy a FaZe T-shirt and stuff. But I guess there's no way of you know
No,
You think they're
calculating.
that
not
to
selling
me,
more
no,
G
this
Fuel
is
or
100%. We're looking at this the opposite way, in my opinion. People are going to watch Tifu stream initially because he had the phase branding on his stream. Then it's like, okay, he's a good
Right.
player. I'm going to
Yeah,
continue to
I
watch him
think
for
it's
what he
both.
is.
I
but
think it's both
I believe
ways.
FaZe created him in the sense of how popular he is. His ability gave him an opportunity to be on FaZe, obviously. But who the hell knew who Tfue was really
Right.
before he joined FaZe? When you say damage control, I feel like this is almost like this is like really confident. You're putting out numbers here, okay? These are not like blanket statements of we didn't take much or it was a lower percentage than what he said. Like this is, hey, we've got $60,000 from this guy with our partnership, and that's it. Because they know it's beneficial to both parties to have somebody like Tfue as part of your brand, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong, but I really feel like a lot of it's going to come out to not be, as bad as he's making it seem. It sounds like somebody who wants to get out of his contract is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and
So
it's
I
it's really tough. I mean, it's really tough because,
yeah.
especially in esports, to know who's telling the truth. But like you
Well,
said, Anuj, I
especially
mean,
when
if it is him, he's
you're a
gonna come out
teammate.
with egg on his face, and it's
I mean, look, like,
man.
because people are saying, like, I guess his argument, and this is just me kind of playing both sides of the fence here, is like, yeah, people can be like, well, FaZe are jerks because they took advantage of an impressionable guy, right, who was younger at the time or whatever, because he's only like 21. Um, but I guess you could also
But
turn
he
around
was
and say,
20. He was 20 when he signed. It's not like it's been like 5 years.
right.
He
But I
just
guess you
signed at
could
the age of
also say,
20.
like, if he's just impressionable, then I guess you also say, well, who knows if this lawyer isn't feeding him crap where it's like, dude, I can get you out of this. I can get you this much money. And he's like, you mean, and I don't even have to be attached to FaZe at all? Like, then I could do this all on my solo career. I'm sure he sees guys like Shroud, where as soon as his Cloud9 contract, can't talk,
There you go. You
lapsed
got it, Tim.
over, and he could separate from that Cloud9 branding. Like, look how, like, he had all of his branding locked and loaded to go, and now he's blown up. He's probably looking at guys like Ninja, who still is part of Luminosity, but I don't really understand how that works. They seem to pretty much let him do whatever he wants. And you see these streamers that aren't tied to an org and still blowing up. So maybe, Tfue sees
But
that and
again,
says,
he
"How do I
does
get out of
obviously,
this?
right?
How do I
Yeah,
get
like
out of
he
this
sees that
contract?"
it looks overly appealing, right? Like why
Also,
would you not want to keep 100% of your money at the end of the
like,
day?
I'm not a big party person, right? In fact, you guys have witnessed both of my party times. And look, I don't know Tfue. Maybe he is a super nice guy. I don't know. But uh I have a hard time listening to his spiel of like, they made me drink underage.
Give me a break.
Like,
I saw
what?
videos of them throwing champagne and all that on. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying,
please. And it's
dude.
like,
Like, come on. Do not try to throw that in there and act like any court. If I was that court, I'd be like, yeah, we're throwing this out the window. Like, that part of it. Like, of course, again, this is all saying, like, it could be, both sides could be right here. So I'm just trying to talk at this, like, from an angle that, both sides could possibly be in the wrong or in the right. That's ridiculous. Like, that almost seems nitpicky on Tfue's part. And that's where I get the idea of like his lawyer or his attorney team is just saying like, dude, did you drink under their house?
Yeah, it's
Oh, well,
because
put
the
that in
law is
there.
black or
like
white.
Put
The
that
law
in
is
there.
black or white.
write it down,
Like,
right? No, yeah, I mean, like
yeah.
we bring up Shroud and all of these guys. It's kind of other than Ninja, but like even Shroud, a lot of that popularity is gained by being with the right organization, right? Like
Yeah.
going to Cloud9 was everything for Shroud's career in the sense of he was already really good, but Cloud9 brings a million other brand people to your brand. So I think it's kind of the same thing here is a little bit of a lack of there was probably a better way, in my opinion, to get out of this contract than going the lawsuit route while you're on the team because this is just going to be a
I wonder,
really messy
you
situation.
know, you know what would also be kind of telling? Like, how much longer was he tied to FaZe? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
No,
Because I mean, if it was a
No,
short-term
because
thing, like months, that's telling. But if it's like
that's
2 or
also the
three
weird
years,
thing
then it's
though.
like, wow,
Is
yeah, he's trying
throughout
to get
all
out.
these little lawsuits with them has that been like a topic though of wanting out of the contract? I think it's just disputing that they are abusing it, not the fact that he's in it.
yeah,
Because
but
like
ultimately, what happens here with this is you end up getting
Sir,
allowed
did you
to be
not read
terminated,
the
right?
last line of FaZe's letter? It says, "We are proud of what we've accomplished together over the past year with Turner," which is Tfue, "and we will continue to support him." You think that's the biggest load of BS ever written in a statement ever? Like, yeah, bro, we know you're suing us and you're saying that we did all these illegal things that could possibly destroy the organization, but don't worry. It's all water under the bridge when this is
We're
over.
gonna
You're coming
support you
right
during
back.
these tough times.
Like,
We'll
yeah,
help you. How much is your
right.
lawyer?
Yeah, because, Banks seems like the real level headed guy that would let you come back, considering his
Totally.
response
Yeah.
to Nade Shot.
Oh
Nade
man.
Shot, and I'll read this and then we can move on. Nade Shot, 100 Thieves. Everyone knows who Nade Shot is. Stand up guy from everything that I've heard, does it right. So he tweets out saying, "I hope recent news doesn't affect the broader gaming community's perception of esports teams. There are plenty of orgs in the space when top priority is their professional players and content creators." Okay. Very, hey, don't paint us with a broad brush. And FaZe Banks tweets this out, which, by the way, he deleted it soon after, which, look,
Well, Nate Shot deleted the tweet,
oh, it was Nade Shot deleted the tweet, which in
Yeah.
turn deleted
the
uh,
comment.
Banks. Okay, all right. I did not know that. I thought Banks deleted it
No, yeah, Nate
because
Shot
the
deleted
dude's got like
tweet.
2 million followers. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, if you have 2 million followers, or even Nade Shot, he's got probably what, a million or so.
At least.
What's the point of deleting a tweet? It's
Yeah,
been
there's really no
seen. It's
point.
been screenshot. I mean, your tweet here has 7.3 thousand likes. Like, bro,
I mean,
it's out
I
there.
can delete it. I can delete a tweet after making a grammatical error, but nobody's gonna see that
No one sees that.
ish.
No.
Yeah, it's like nobody's gonna see this.
So
Nate
FaZe,
Shot's got 2.5 million.
yeah, that's been seen, bro. I'm sorry, but so Banks responds to him. And earmuffs, children, because I can't censor this. It wouldn't make any sense. You're a piece of shit, dude. And when my side is heard, you'll see why. Way to fucking jump on the bandwagon and chase the clout. You must me dancing right now. Matt, I'm going to personally make sure you regret tweeting this and adding this bullshit dumpster fire.
See, how does he know Nate Shot wasn't talking about denial?
Yeah, maybe
He's
he
gonna
was
feel
talking
like a real
about something
douche
else.
after he
Because
finds out.
within an hour of this whole thing dropping, Nate Shot came out and tweeted like 2 apologies after this, though. And Banks commented on one of them, saying, "I appreciate this tweet." But Nate Shot did come out and apologize and had some nice words to say for them after this. And I genuinely kind of believe there's a mutual friendship there that is too
Yeah, I mean, they're all COD guys, they all
Yeah, like they all
cut from
grew
the
up in the
same
scene
cloth.
together. Yeah, yeah.
But that
So
being said, I don't think what Nade Shot said was anything bad. I mean, it's true.
no.
Like, dude, don't use this situation to judge everyone, whether it
And
be
Banks
true
is
or
a
not.
hothead. You've seen Banks' tweets before.
yeah.
He's a hothead in
I
general.
remember I don't keep up with him, but I do remember from when the original FaZe stuff broke out about the illegal betting and setting all that up. He was another guy tweeting out saying that anyone who says they're cheating on gambling and they're all gonna rue the day and whatever, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Why don't you become a little bit more ethical with your business practice and this won't come up once a year that you guys are screwing something up. But I digress. So we'll see where that goes. I don't think it's a story we're necessarily going to have to follow up on. It's just something, again, in esports with the denial stories going on, how they still owe players money, and yet that org is saying, no, 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 we're looking into it. Don't you worry. We got everything on lockdown. And in that whole scandal, was it their CEO stepped down? Like, yeah, bro. That's not a good look if you are in question of being not paying your players, and then all of a sudden your CEO is like, "Well, bye.
I'm out. See you later.
I'm busy, guys. Kids got to select soccer team. I gotta go. Like, gotta go.
That's topical.
Yeah, it's topical humor. All right, let's get into everyone's favorite segment that still has no production value. Clutch or kick. It's our version of buy or sell. So let's get into it. We have 3 topics for this segment today on this show. Let's start with the first one. Optic Gaming / Infinite Esports is being sold. I think it is all but not a rumor. I heard that it could have broke as early as today. Last time I really looked at any news was about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So I didn't see anything broke. So I don't think this
Neither did
broke.
I. Joe. I looked.
But anyways, it's pretty much official that it's happening. It's just a question of when and who's going to buy it and believe it. We are going to discuss when it actually happens. But my clutch or kick for you gentlemen is Hex to blame for this. Anuj, you can
Okay.
start.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to, like, yes, partially in the sense that he sold the organization to begin with, right? Like, then it's out of your control. So whatever happens at that point is not his decision, right? He's the CEO, and I'm sure he helps try and sway and make decisions. But financially, if they felt they were getting a good opportunity to sell for whatever reason, maybe it's because buyout prices are high, or getting into these leagues with franchising maybe just doesn't seem worth it anymore for some ownership groups, like that's out of his control. So no, like I'm gonna go ahead and kick and say that I don't think this is Hex's fault, although the chain of events that led to this initiated with him selling the team in the first place. But the fact that he's going back in, it's rumored that he's offered more money than the opposing group, but there is some bad blood there between Hex and the ownership group. That he's doing everything in his power to keep the Optic brand alive. How can I not support him? Like, as with all the fun that we've had with Optic over the years on this show, I gotta support our guy here. Like, I want them to keep the Optic brand alive. I would hate to see that brand not be there for what they've done for Overwatch League as being a part of that, what they mean to the COD community. I think when I think COD or Optic, I also think a little bit of like smaller term scales of esports, what they did within Halo and Gears of War. Like, these guys are committed to a lot of those things, although they've recently stepped out from some of them, but they were there till the end, really.
Well,
So
and we've learned
um,
why they stepped out. Like
yeah, like there's
clear
reasonings
financial
behind it.
issues.
Yeah, so but at the end of the day, I think Hex is an awesome dude, and I don't think this is what he ever would have wanted to envision for Optic's future.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Nuge. Like, I mean, you look on Twitter, Jason Lake tweeting and all this, like he is well respected around the esports scene. So, I mean, for that, you kind of root for the guy. I mean, we joke on the show, Tim jokes where it's like, they're dead to me. Well, I don't know if that's a joke. That may actually be true.
You're about to be dead to
But
us in like an hour.
I
So
know. So why am I even talking? But yeah, it's like
Wrap it up, Brett.
I'm gonna clutch that this is his fault. For this reason. I mean, it started before he sold the team with content creators, right? Like just not really organizing his organization in a way that I guess was helping him monetarily. I mean, why would you release all these content creators if
but
you're
it
doing
wasn't
well,
him
right?
that released them. It was the new ownership that
Was it the
released,
new
like,
ownership?
yeah,
Well,
so they
the
went
new
in.
Okay,
ownership
which brings
released them,
me.
but why would they have released them? Because they weren't generating
They weren't
revenue.
generating
They
revenue.
didn't view them
But
as a
okay,
relevant
so that brings me to my
stock.
second point. The person that you sold to, I mean, you chose this person, right? Ultimately. Um, and this is who we're talking about. We're not talking about, we're talking about Hex being this great guy, but and I guess the majority owners being the bad guys, but he sold to the bad guys, right? So, I mean, ultimately this is a little bit to blame on him for what is going on.
Hmm. And I will have to agree with Brett. I am clutching that this is Hex is to blame for where Optic is at. There has been plenty of different ownerships that have sold off part of their teams or all of their teams, and they still succeed. Look at Complexity. Look at Envy. Look at Cloud9. All the original owners, are nowadays with the investment money involved in esports, it's hard for these big orgs to stay like true grassroots orgs, right? Of course, Magic Johnson asks to join your organization and buy into it. Yeah, you're gonna say yes, and all of them
Don't
have
ask him to
found.
run your basketball team.
uh, Man, I wish we were a basketball podcast just to talk about that story, but we won't.
That would
We
be
won't
great.
bore the listener of it. Um, esports isn't just in, or drama isn't just in esports though. That's good to know. That's good to
There you
know
go.
that we're not the only group of unprofessional professionals. But no, and to my point, it's like I said, like maybe all the signs looked right at the time, but I think you can say that Hex didn't do his homework as better as some of his other colleagues out there. And to Brett's point, maybe he didn't set it up for success when he stepped away. Like it all was working out when he was in charge because he knew the vision that he wanted to take it into. And then when he sold it, these other guys were like, okay, let's run this team. Let's have this be a success. And then they were like, what is this content creation you're speaking of, right? Like we just thought you were a big brand and we could work off of that and work on the teams. Like why do you have 20 streamers and YouTubers and all this? So I do think Hex is to blame. And then of course for like the obvious reason on why Optic is failing, the TCR curse, bitch. I told you, Hex. I told you, Optic. You don't say no to TCR twice.
Once.
Or
You
this
say no
is
once.
what
That's
happened.
fine. We'll forgive you.
Yeah,
Twice?
once I can understand once, but twice? No. No, you don't get to say, and I'm sorry, they didn't say no twice. They said yes twice and then completely ghosted on me twice when I was trying to ask for contact information and setting up a time to have someone on the show talking about your new book that came out like 3 years ago. How'd that do for you, buddy? Okay? When's a sequel coming on that? The Downfall of the Green Wall. Okay? Looking forward to that one. Hoping there's a whole chapter on the TCR curse. And
Anoush, are you sure
then
that this isn't your last one?
Yeah, I think it might be. I
And
think it might be
then-
all of our last one.
and then Optic can't touch me. They can't touch me. And then the second time when I reached out to Hex, I forget about what. I think it was like when they first moved out to Frisco with their little warehouse. Little warehouse. Can't even afford a garage, let alone a warehouse, Hex. And then he was
That
like,
place
"Yeah,
looks
I'd
pretty
love
cool,
to come
though.
on." And then he ghosted me again. So I say to you, Optic, I hope Immortals buys you, and I hope they blast your name into space and you are a blip on the esports radar.
With all that being said, Hex, we wish you all the best.
Oh, dude, I
We
hope
hope
he
this-
lands on his feet.
We hope this works
guy's-
out.
The guy's super nice.
I hope you end up keeping Optic and keeping them relevant. Don't leave COD. COD needs you badly. It needs your team badly. So I would hate to go to a COD event and not see the green wall at that event. Like that is fun to witness if you haven't seen that
Well,
before.
I mean, I've seen a COD event without the green wall there. After Optic gets knocked out of groups, green wall leaves that event pretty quick.
Okay, they won a world championship this year. We can't talk too much trash.
Yeah.
They're doing all right. They have a good squad.
Where's that got him? Selling the org.
Oh,
Lord, Hex,
I'm
you're
not
gonna, you're
letting
gonna
up.
get it, bud.
I've been
You're
waiting
gonna
for
get it,
this.
bud.
I've
Let's
been
go to the next
waiting
one.
for
Go
this.
to the next one. We'll come back.
Holy-
We're gonna have a whole episode on Optic in the near
That's
future.
right.
So
That's right.
we'll revisit.
All right. So that was that one. Next one here on the list. Yanko takes a shot at Mouse Sports for winning the DreamHack Open, bringing up the question: do these small events really matter? We'll start with Brett.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Yes, I'm gonna kick the idea that they do matter. Ask Astralis this. You know, in their recent tournaments, small events do matter. They build confidence. Uh, you get to work on things. Strat wise, going into majors and bigger tournaments. So yeah, I'm gonna kick that these actually do matter. They most definitely matter.
Wouldn't it be a clutch that they matter?
No,
the question,
well, it's a kick that Yanko's point
Yanko
that they
was saying
don't
they
matter.
don't matter.
Oh.
So you're kicking that. Just depends how you
Can
look
I
at
do
it.
like a can I
Glass
do like
half
a
full.
pass, like a half pass, like
Like a lateral?
Yeah, like a lateral. Like
Oh,
there's two
okay.
sides to this in my mind. they only matter to the teams that it needs to matter to. Like, does it matter to the top 3 teams in the world, top 5 teams in the world, maybe even top 10? Probably not, right? Like, there's too
Right.
many small
But I
tournaments
think that's
for me to
fair.
sit here and think like that these matter. Like, they really, in the scheme of things, only matter for a point system value. But if a team gets second place that is favored to win, like, am I gonna sit there and be like they suck? No. Like, if you're doing poorly at major events and all that, sure. But they do matter to teams like Mouse winning DreamHack. This is a relatively newer squad with younger players on it. So yeah, like, it matters to that type of team. They need to build their confidence going into some of these bigger events. If you're performing poorly at a small event, and then you walk into a big boy event and get smashed, like, yeah, they're all going to matter at that point. Like, you need to build your confidence going into big events for orgs that are making changes, or trying to build a lineup, or whatever the case may be. So it's a little bit of 50-50 for me. They only matter to the teams they need to matter to. They don't matter to everybody. And viewers, same thing. I don't think they really matter for most viewers. And that's why viewership numbers are not that great on them, right? You have a
Hmm.
million five watching a major, you have 75,000 watching, you know, a DreamHack Open event. Why is that? It's because they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Next weekend, there's something else. You know, I'm going to catch CS Summit this weekend. Like, that's more interesting to me, even though it's a smaller event. I
But
think
definitely does not matter. You know, like
it doesn't
for the teams
matter.
that are there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think I am going to kick it overall because of everything that both of you said. Like, ultimately, that's how in the world, especially in like Counter Strike, right, where there is no league or anything like that. It's all, once you're proven, you'll start getting invited and all that. And that's why these events do matter for the orgs and everything. Now, I'm not saying should Mouthsport go and raise a banner in their HQ that they won DreamHack Open. No, no,
Are
it
they
does not.
though? Yeah.
It doesn't
It's
matter in that sense, right? Like, I don't know if this is a trophy you put on, in the back room. This is not one that you put in the front walkway
It's
leading
a,
into
it's
the
a lower
office.
shelf trophy, right? It's not going to be
It's one where
in
you
the
let the
middle with the
players
lights
keep.
on it.
Let
Yeah,
let the
yeah.
MVP keep this trophy.
This can go to the team house.
Right, because ultimately Mouse Sports goals are bigger than the DreamHack Open. But they definitely still matter for the ecosystem of esports, and especially in Counter Strike, because
So glad you mentioned that.
that's how teams that's how tier 3 teams become tier 2 and tier 2
Yep,
become 1 by
yep.
winning these events.
I
Look
was thinking the
look at
same thing.
Ents. You would not have Ents now who they are without the DreamHack Open. So if you just keep disregarding these tournaments, like, who cares? They won this, right? Or they won that.
and
At what point then does it matter that they're winning at all?
and doesn't it make it a little bit worse that it's coming from Yanko, who, I mean, just looking
Well,
at his recent
yeah,
coaching
but I okay.
career hasn't been
I'm not
great.
gonna blame Yanko because Yanko
I
just
mean,
likes
I'm
to have
just
fun on
saying.
Well,
Twitter.
Yeah.
that comment was
But he brought up
spurred
the
from
question.
something that was made. Like, the comment was posed at FaZe Clan saying, um, you know, will
Will he win
Kerrigan
more
win more
events than he
events
did with FaZe?
with FaZe? And he's like, well, yes, if they keep on attending DreamHack Opens, then there's a chance that they will, So, again, it matters to the teams that it should matter to. And you're right, for the ecosystem, it's most definitely important.
Right.
That's why Counter Strike is where it's at. Like, Counter Strike in general needs these types of events.
Yep. So that was a good one. And last one for this episode's clutch or kick, which maybe next time we'll have sound effects. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Maybe Brett can make them in his free time. Split. This
Oh.
is Splitgate Battalion 1944 Rocket Arena. One of these games will be the next big esport clutch or kick. I'll start with me this time.
There you go. You can do that. That's why you're the boss.
I'm gonna say kick. I love Splitgate, and that's what made it difficult for me to kick this. Uh, I'm a uh, I'm a Splitgate fanboy. I like the concept. I love Halo, which is kind of where it spawns from. The game comes out in 2 days, so we'll see. Battalion 1944 also comes out tonight, in a couple days, soon,
22nd, 23rd, right around there.
Or
something
no,
like that.
Anuj, tweet Lex. He'll respond to you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ask Lex when his professional career starts in 1944, so we know when that game officially comes out. I personally enjoyed Battalion 1944. Me and Anuj bought it very early on when it was first released in early access.
It's
It's
magical
officially
too, Tim,
coming
right?
out. What's that?
That's where you and
Clayster.
Clayster became besties,
Me and
right?
Clayster became super best friends playing
Like
Battalion
the best
1944.
friends. Like
Um,
you wear the same clothes. You
my wife called me Clay in bed.
there you
It's
go.
She
and I feel
does.
like he asks his girlfriend to call him Tim. So I think we share that. And Rocket Arena is this new game coming out, which is a 3v3 arena shooter where it's pretty much based off of rockets. Go figure. Kind of cartoony
Un-
looking though.
Unreal
Yeah.
Tournament, Overwatch mix kind of looking
What's
game.
the what was the
Overwatch him.
what was
Overwatch,
no
it's
you know
cartoony in the
you know
sense
what it
that
reminds
that's
me
where
of?
the Overwatch feel comes in.
The Paladins Realm Royale.
Realm Royale.
Realm
Yeah.
Royale, yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
looks like. It looks like that, but a
And
3v3
never
arena shooter with rockets.
and everyone thought that was going to be the next big thing,
Exactly.
right?
And
For a solid 3 minutes.
that's why I kick this. As much as I love Splitgate and I think high level Splitgate is going to be insane, Halo for the PC is right around the corner and it will murder that scene. Battalion 1944, even though I think is good, I do think there's a scene for it because the sniping in that game I felt was the best sniping for a PC shooter that I played in a long time. It does have Face It built into it, which I think is a huge factor on why it might
Mm.
succeed because it has that built-in ladder and clan system. Clan. Sorry, folks, showed my age there. Team. It has a team system. People don't call them clans anymore. What is
They're
this?
still clans.
2001. So and Rocket Arena. I've become uh, skeptical of games that pump money into streamer and Twitter advertisement, which I know 100% they did. They won't ever release the numbers, but the people, I never heard of this game in my life. And then all of a sudden I see half the people that we follow on the TCR esports account tweet about this game. So I'm like, either you know someone who made this or they reached out to you to do it. So I don't see that being a next big esport. Now these could all be successful individual esports, but I'm talking when I say big esports, I'm talking like how Overwatch shot up. Like Overwatch came out, they introduced the esports scene, boom, 120,000 viewers consistently.
Call it a guild.
So we'll go with so I said kick. I think these can all be successful. I don't think they're all going to be the next big one. Anuj, go ahead.
Kick, kick, and kick. Pretty easy answer for me, and I'll tell you kind of a lot of this thing. Splitgate, cool game. Halo is gonna kill it. Like there's no chance.
It's gonna murder it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
there's just
murder it.
timing could not have been worse for them
You
with
could
Halo
almost say
being
murder is going to murder. Halo is going to murder all of these games.
Yeah, like in terms of popularity for sure, but like the relation between the two games, they're too closely tied to one another. Splitgate
Right.
is the same game as Halo, except has portal system
It's
built
funny
in,
because
right?
as I play Splitgate, it just makes me want to play Halo.
Want to go play Halo? Yeah, and to me the portal system is a little wanky anyway. Like it's cool, but I think it wouldn't make sense too much in a like weird competitive setting for me. But I don't think Splitgate has much of a chance. I think that'll slowly go not too long after release. Again, the moment Halo comes out, it's done in my eyes. Rocket Arena, always skeptical about arena games. I don't think arena games have much of a place in the esports scene right now, and I think it's very hard to break in and really find something that thrives, especially when the old guard, such as Quake and all that, are finding it very difficult to survive in that scene, and they have branding behind them already.
Mhm.
Rocket Arena looks a little too Hmm, I don't want to say cartoony because I know that wouldn't define the game, but it's a little bit too like gimmicky in that sense. I think it'll be a fun game. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play it. I'm
I
gonna
think it will
try
be a
it.
fun game for like, because we typically have 6 guys on a Discord at any given moment. I think it'll be a fun game to play like a community night maybe for TCR.
Yeah, like
But
it'll be fun, and but I think it'll just be what it is. Like I don't think advance or develop into the. I don't think it'll even get into the esports scene. And I feel the same way about Splitgate unless they enter real quickly before Halo comes out, and then it lasts for however long. Battalion has the best chance, in my opinion. Although I think it's just going to have a niche following. I think it's a niche game. It's definitely not for everybody. It is going to be highly competitive for the people that do play, but I don't think it's a casual player's game. I think you need to
no.
be able to pull in those types of fans to help grow a scene.
I mean,
The
even if
Face It
playing
ladder,
it early on.
yeah, like even when we were playing, like it was a highly competitive group of people that I felt like we were constantly playing with. And we're, not to humble brag, but we're, I feel like we're pretty decent at FPSs. We're
Oh
not
yeah.
terrible players,
We're
so
natural
we can,
FPS players. If we
yeah,
if
it's just
we
kind of
play
what we
something,
do.
put our mind to it, you know, comes pretty
Not
easy,
not saying
you
anything,
know.
but just saying something. So
you know,
yeah, but I think
if anyone in our chat right now needs to hire anyone for a team, just
Battalion will
saying.
be one of those that it's not going to be events with 1,000 people, but it will have its following. The team and ladder system will help the game grow, but I just see it being too niche to say it's going to be the next big esport.
Right.
I think it'll be an esport,
I
however.
think it will be successful. I think you'll see 30,000 views for big tournaments. Now, the interesting thing with all of these, like Battalion, I don't think there's any like big organization yet that's bought into it. The interesting thing with Splitgate is that it's been in closed beta. It was in open beta like 1 weekend, 2 weeks ago, and now the game is releasing full game, free to play. It's there. So if it has a smooth launch, I could see at least making a good first impression. Battalion has already had that first impression. What returning player base is going to go back to it? Zen in our Twitch chat has brought up a lot of good points, saying that ultimately it comes down to the developers, right? And that's also very true. If these developers don't try to put into their esports scene or help advertising it, I mean, they're dead on arrival. You know, that I think it's far and few between where games come out nowadays and don't focus on that esports scene, especially because all of these are pure multiplayer games. They are built for the sole purpose. I mean, Battalion from day one has always been built as like this will be the next big esport. So that's 100% how their marketing has worked out. So that's there's that. Brett, I don't know if we ever got to you, but real quick, did you want to say clutch
it
or kick?
uh kick. I mean, and it's kind of rough to go behind you guys because like you guys are making all the same points that I would have made. I mean,
And that's why
I
the
guess
show's
I
only
guess
going to have two.
yeah, I know that you don't even need me anymore. What am I again? What am I doing here? But I guess the only one that would really to me kind of stand a chance or be worth watching just for me. I don't want to speak for other people, but Splitgate to me like that game has the ability to catch the casual player just like from a play standpoint. Um, the plays could be insane in that game, but from a competitive standpoint, it would get frustrating because, and somebody that knows esports better than I do, Summit said that it's just too random. Like there's too many angles that somebody can come from, and it's hard to hold a point, right? So
Right.
it just none of them really make sense to me.
I always
I'm gonna
take
go
the
with
grain of
kick.
salt with that in the sense of, and
It's the
I mean, it's still
reaction.
it still
No,
brings up a
but
very
it's
good
I
point
feel the
because
same way though.
if
I
he's a
mean,
casual newer player to the game, that's how the majority of the people are going to play the game. They're going to be casual,
Yeah.
they're going to
well,
be
I
newer, and then
no,
they're going to be like, "This is too much. I'm backing out."
yeah. Now, I enjoyed watching it. Like, don't get me wrong. I
Right?
enjoyed watching Shroud play it. I enjoyed watching Summit play it. It was great. But I wonder, like,
Can a game
the
survive just off of
longevity.
viewership though?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
You
No.
know, like if everyone loves watching Splitgate, but are like, dude, the skill curve on this, right? Like, because I do think the portals will not be as bad if everyone was Because I saw some like Halo pros play it, and it didn't seem the portals were not nearly that bad. Like as far as like randomness and like, oh my god, now they're here, now they're there, oh they're everywhere, because the Halo pros were all using like crazy teamwork, right? And so it didn't seem as bad, but again, the majority of your player base isn't going to be professional gamers, So that is a concern, I guess, on that front. So that's a straight kick from all of us. Wow. Let's get into some e-news, shall we? Starting with CS:GO. We already kind of talked about it a little bit, but DreamHack Open Tours, Mouse defeated Valiance? Valiance? That's how you say that, Nooch?
Valiance.
Valiance?
Yeah.
Can't talk. 2-0. So we talked a little bit about that. Good to see Mouse Sports back on the map. CS Summit.
It doesn't matter, right?
Even though none of it matters. CS Summit is this weekend. It's the best time of the year. For those who don't know, the Summit events, and I'm not talking Beyond the Summit. Beyond the Summit is who hosts it, but they're a little different. But the summits, Melee Summit, Ultimate Summit, CS Summit, they are one weekend of the year where these pros live in the gaming house that is hosted by this organization, Summit, and that's it. They just play in this tournament all under one roof. The players will randomly walk in and out of the production. You'll see
Wearing
them sit
socks
on the
and,
couch and
like,
just chilling.
barefoot.
At night, like for the Smash, the Melee is by far the best, or even Ultimate, because those guys are just so weird and they'll play Mafia and stuff. But it's great. It is a chill, it's a enjoyable experience to watch.
It's like watching a LAN party almost.
It really
Fun
is.
LAN party.
Yeah, think of like if you and your buddies hosted a LAN party and then you have cameras in the room.
Or if you and your buddies were going to DreamHack at a BYOC and
Yeah, just
we're just
imagine
gonna have a
that.
great time
Imagine that, Anuj.
playing
Just imagine
computer
if
games
your
all
friends
night.
were going to DreamHack without you.
I've imagined it for 3 years.
We'll miss you.
And Anuj, you can tell us more about this next one, but Smooya on loan from Big to Renegades.
Yeah, basically there was visa issues for Gratisfaction, which sucks because he was their newly acquired player from
Renegades
Greyhound.
has
And
visa issues? No way.
it's just like one thing after another with visa issues. The board for everybody, it feels. So he can't attend the stage of EPL. Smooya was recently benched on Big, and so the transfer has taken place. It's a loan. And, Smooya is a talented player. I think he's got some issues, personally. But it doesn't take away from his talent in the game. So he's getting a chance to kind of get back onto the big stage. And, just unfortunate for Gratisfaction, I think, more than anything, not being able to attend when you qualify with your team.
In Overwatch, Mayhem Academy, which is Mayhem's Academy team, go figure, dropped their roster. Yet we see another Contenders team bite the dust. Now they say they will come back with a roster that speaks more to their team goals. Now Mayhem Academy was like the second best team in the Contenders League this season, so I don't know what more you want.
The team's
maybe
goals
Korean.
would be not paying for a Contenders team.
Right. We're going to look for a team that aligns more with our future outlook, which is not paying you. So And Korean. Even though their owner says they're not going to stock a full Korean roster.
No,
so
wait, whoa. Yeah, we're not saying that.
He said they're not going to
It
do
is.
it, Brett. Ignore the fact that all of our guys are Korean.
Yeah.
We're still not going to do it. So we'll see what happens there. In Rainbow Six Siege, the Pro League finals were this weekend, and they were nutty. The grand finals had Team Empire defeating Evil Geniuses 2-1. On the second map, Oregon, dude, it was... I made a sports foul, guys. And I'm going to admit this to you and the listener. I assumed one team won the game, and I walked away from my computer to get some house chores done. Only to come back to find that team did not win the game and we're also like 2 rounds away from losing the whole thing. My bad. So on the second map, Evil Geniuses were already up 1 map to nothing, right? They were up 1-0 in the match. On the second map, they were up 6-3 against Team Empire. Match point. All they had to do was win 1 more round, and the trophy was theirs. Just for for Empire to come back, win 5 in a row, and then take map 2 8-6, and then pretty much rolled them on map 3.
And that game is super triggering too, because it, like, for those who don't play Rainbow, you can die, and it's infuriating because you don't know how you died. Like, you get sprayed through a wall or something weird happens, and it's triggering too. Like,
Yeah.
if you're match point and you lose a couple like that, that can kind of play in your mind. Like, damn it, what do I need to do here?
What do you got to do?
Yeah, it's
so
like, what do I
We've
gotta
all
do?
been on either ends of those snowballs, right? Being on the
Uh-huh.
team that's down and all of a sudden things start clicking, or being on the team that's up and one thing just can't go right, you know? And so, crazy to see stuff like that happen at the pro level, but we see it in all phases of sports.
Yeah. So that's
FaZe also top.
Yeah.
it
There
was
you go.
also nutty though.
All
It was a
phases.
nutty finals. It was really fun to see. Get on my level. Wrapped up. Mango defeated Axe 3-2. Always hate to see Axe lose, but love seeing Mango win. That was Mango's first big victory of the year. Complexity Gaming opened up their new HQ at the Star in Frisco, which is the same practice facility where the Dallas Cowboys play, for those who don't know. This is also the GameStop Performance Center. So we were not able to be at the ribbon cutting ceremony. I know. We're adults. We all work. We have responsibilities, and
It's out in Frisco.
just couldn't take the day off. So we will definitely make our way out there, though. GameStop, if you're listening, invite us. We'd love to come take a tour of the place. We are the #1 esports podcast when you look up on Google. So, just saying.
No big deal.
No big deal. Sir Scoots reports that the LA spot for the upcoming Call of Duty franchise league is nearing anywhere from $50 to $60 million.
Oh my
Now,
god.
I don't know money.
It's for LA though, right?
I'm not a millionaire. It is for LA, so obviously that's charging because of the city, right? It's a big market, gets big money. No, thank you. You're not getting that money back, are you? There's no way.
And if you did, you better guarantee that I'm gonna be the only franchise in LA, right? Because you've seen franchising use multiple teams in LA. If I'm spending $60 million on an organization in LA,
LA better
I
be my
would-
city.
yeah,
Yeah.
that better be my city and nobody else's, right?
There's
I mean,
no
at least
way.
the one thing that they have going for them is COD is already proven, right? So the difference between Overwatch and COD is Overwatch is still in its infancy in terms of how long will it be around? Is it going to be a 10-year game? Is it going to be a 5-year game? Like, people don't know in terms of the competitive scene because it's fairly new. COD is at least very established. Now, take that for what it's worth because viewership numbers are like lower than some of the other large esports, but
and the new COD could be
Consi-
garbage.
it could be. But the best thing about it is, okay, well, next year it could be amazing.
Right.
And they've also
and-
announced that it's being delayed and all that mess.
Well, but the mess is actually a good thing because the mess is they've announced that they're going to 2 makers. So Sledgehammer is no longer part of the titles. And
You're
I
right,
think a lot of that has to do with franchising. Hey, let's do a 2-game rotational. There's more consistency in the types of games that you're going to be getting, right? Doesn't completely alter the pro scene from that standpoint. So,
And I think if
I mean-
Overwatch has proven one thing, city-based teams do work.
yeah.
I don't know about revenue. Don't give me all this crap about like, well, Overwatch League teams haven't even made their money back. I don't think any of them were expecting to make their money back this early on, right?
Yeah.
It's only been a season and a half. Like, no one was expecting to get their $20 million, $40 million, whatever it was. Like, no one was these people buying these know that the upfront cost is going to be way more than what they're getting directly back soon enough. This is an investment that
I
they're
mean, if
getting
I buy
into.
the Cowboys for $1 billion, I'm not going to make that money back in like
You're
2
not gonna
years.
just make $1 billion back next week. No, I'm sorry to tell you. But I do think
I
city-based
was about
teams
to
work
buy
as
it
far
too.
as popularity goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at Overwatch, right? Apparently, the game's
Yeah.
dying or is dead compared to who you talk to, and yet it still pulls in viewership. So, but still, 50 to 60 million. Whew. Okay. Okay. Let's see who
I
buys
would
that.
do it for 10 or 20. That's my price.
Take it or leave it.
All right.
Take it or
I
leave
got the
it.
money.
Put this on your esports radar. Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational will take place June 8th.
Why
This is
is
also
this
at
on
the
here?
same event Nintendo's hosting with Splatoon and Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Is this like a competitive thing? I don't even know. What,
It's like
is
races.
this where you,
They're doing
I thought it was
races.
where you
and stuff.
design levels and all that?
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Okay.
a competitive scene out there for them. I mean, people do host Mario Maker races, like speedrunning, right? But it's
Yeah.
racing and stuff. I do think there is a market out there. It won't be grossly, it's not gonna. It's going to be popular though, in this in that little community. I think it does, you know. It will be interesting, nonetheless. And in League of Legends, G2 defeated Liquid 3-0 in the mid-season invitational.
A surprise on all accounts that
That's all I got.
both of these teams had an opportunity to be there. Liquid had played poorly getting up to this point and beat Invictus Gaming, the #1 ranked team in the world. And that's an NA org doing that, which is huge for this. This is the second biggest event of the year. And then G2 took out, Faker and SKT. So two giants were knocked out for both of these teams to advance. G2 is the Euro super team, kind of a mix of the Fnatic and original G2 squad. So really cool to see both of these teams advance. It's just rare that you would see an NA-EU matchup in league. So good for them, and made for an interesting weekend leading up to it. Unfortunately, the championship was a little bit of a letdown in terms of quality, but it was fun up till that point.
And take that to the listener who said we don't talk about League of Legends.
Good job, Anuj.
Thank you.
I was asked last week by Connor, friend of the show, and he was like, "Why don't you guys talk about League?" And I just wanted to be like, "You don't want me talking about League of Legends. Like
This wouldn't
that-
be your podcast.
that
Connor.
one sentence of G2 defeated Liquid 3-0. That's all I know. That's it. That's all I know about League of Legends. I was a Dota guy, and I was a HOTS guy. So I play MOBAs. League of Legends was not one of them. So I don't know. Do not know. It's in fact, it's almost impressive to the point where I woke up and just saw Twitter blowing up about Team Liquid, and I put in our little show chat what they do, what's going on in League right now that everybody is freaking out. It must be important. It must be good.
Why are people crying over this result? I don't understand. What's going on?
HOTS was the best MOBA ever that never be, until Blizzard took it out to pasture and said, "Don't worry, little buddy.
We'll see.
It's okay.
We'll be back.
It's okay. We'll be back. We'll be
Is
back."
this still
And
Battle.net?
as you just hear the click, and
Yeah.
HOTS developers are
I
like,
know.
"What was that noise?" And they were like, "Don't worry. Don't worry." And then they faded to black, not knowing, not feeling a thing. Blizzard, you bastards. No, it's still on Battle.net, and they're still shilling out skins and crap for you to pay money for. It's like, you guys have publicly announced that this game is dead to you, and you're still gonna ask for my money. Touche, Blizzard. Touche. Before I start the outro music, because it's only a minute long, Brett, I did also want to just take the time one more time to say goodbye. Thank you for your time and effort putting to the show. It's been over 100 episodes that you've been on the show. It's been, golly, it's got to be 2 years, over 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years, 100 episodes, and for you guys, for the listeners out there, know that this wasn't an easy decision to make because, quite honestly, you guys are my best buddies. I love coming on here and talking esports with you guys. I mean, it's something that I look forward to um, every week. But it just got to the point where I want this show to continue to grow. I mean, I feel the momentum. Spoiler alert for those who don't know, we're not making money doing this right now.
What?
Yeah,
No
we're
way.
not.
Get
This
out.
we come here every week, week in, week out. We watch esports because we love watching it and we love talking about it. And the momentum is crazy on this show. I've seen it grow over the 100 episodes that I've been doing it, and it's great. It's crazy. Us being in articles saying that, we're the number one podcast to listen to for esports, and, all the relationships that we've built over the years, events that we've covered, Tim going to Overwatch New York and covering that on Overwatch's bill. I mean, people are noticing the show, and I want it to continue to gain momentum, grow, and I don't want to bring the show down because I just can't keep up with it as much with things going on right now. So um for the listeners out there, continue watching, continue supporting. These guys are great. You'll still be able to see me on Refuel. I'll be doing those episodes talking about your Dallas Fuel and the Overwatch League. So because I'm a fan, I'm an Overwatch fanboy. That's what I do. But continue watching. I love you all, and nothing but the best going forward.
I'm gonna shed a tear right now.
Yeah, I
To do
know.
this off stream.
Well, Brett. Again, I do really appreciate it, and of course, yes, you'll be doing refuel. You'll be back on if Anuj is out.
Of course, yeah.
People
When
can
Nanush
follow
gets
you.
suspended, and it's gonna happen.
It eventually
I mean,
will.
he's gonna say
It eventually
something
will.
about like an Indian optic
Look,
team
when he
or
finds out all the
something.
money
It's
that I've
gonna happen.
actually been pocketing from this podcast, he'll probably quit, and then I'll need you back. So
Yeah, of course. Yep.
no, and again, when Brandon originally left the show, who was originally my co-host, uh, there was like a week, 2-3 weeks where I didn't do shows or anything because I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And then you came on, definitely helped out with the growth. Um, you know, it does sound weird that people are referring to us as the number one esports podcast, but it is a thing. People are saying it, and you have something to do with that. So, if we could become number one with you, by God, Anuj, where are we going to
Oh my
be
God.
next week? We are going to
Probably
be.
gonna tear it apart.
It's going to be
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I
It's-
know. I mean,
I'm just hoping to
Yeah,
stay in the
it's-
top 10. We're gonna have to find a new IGL.
Yeah, I don't know how. How will we recover? How will we recover?
my one show that I did by myself. Yeah, totally. It was all me.
Oh, that's the wrong music.
See, you're thrown off.
That's already falling apart. The show's falling apart.
Uh,
Brett's not even officially gone. Playing the wrong music. Well, buddy, it's been real. We'll talk to you the next time you're on. For people who want to still talk to Brett, you can always join our Discord. Our link you can find on Twitter at the Center Ring. He is Dallas Homer in Discord. Your Twitter is at Dallas Homer too, right?
Yep. Keep it
So you can
consistent.
follow him there.
Yep.
But more importantly, talk to him in Discord. We're always in chat, talking it up. We will be back next week. Anuj and I will be. We will have CS Summit to talk about. Maybe something crazy happens with Tfue and FaZe that we feel like we need to bring it back up. Maybe something finally happens with this optic sale that's about to happen. Maybe it already happened while we were recording. I don't know. But we'll talk about all that next week. So hopefully some news breaks. And other esports goodness, of course. That's really all I got. For Anuj, for the last time as official co-host of mine, Brett, we'll see ya. We'll talk to you guys next week.